The stage was set this past weekend at Monza for Ferrari. Charles Leclerc starting at pole with his arch nemesis this season, Red Bull's Max Verstappen, taking a 5-place grid penalty for taking in new parts for his engine. And during the early stages, it looked like Charles was on for his second Italian GP win as a Ferrari driver. That is, until Verstappen and Red Bull showed why they are the runaway winners for this year's titles, after inheriting the races from Charles, who chose to pit for a new set of mediums during the VSC. But an F1 GP isn't complete without any controversy, as the race would end under a safety car due to McLaren's Daniel Ricciardo's car retirement, which led to an anticlimactic ending to the GP. So how did the teams feel about the race ending under the safety car? Should the FIA change its procedures? And now that it's looking like it'll be another year Ferrari will fall short of winning a championship, does the team still believe that team boss Mattia Binotto can lead them to one? Or is the team considering having him replaced? Well, let's talk about it then. But before we do, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on our latest uploads. Both teams and fans left the Italian Grand Prix disappointed to say the least, as both parties felt like the FIA ruined one of the most historic races in the sport's history by failing to get Daniel Ricciardo's MCL 36 out of the way before the final lap of the race. And as it is their team's home race, Ferrari's team boss Mattia Binotto would not mince his words in his post-race interview, saying that the long wait for a lackluster ending was unfair, to say the least. "I am disappointed with the ending, because we could have finished the race differently," said Mattia. "Finishing behind the safety car is never great. Not for us, for F1, and for the show. And I think there was plenty of time for the FIA to act differently. The safety car came in front of George. Even if it was, there was no reason not to release the cars between the safety car and the leader. If they're simply waiting for safety, we know now there is a minimum lap time, so it is fully safe to run all the track at that time. So to wait so much is simply wrong. It is not great for the sport, and after Abu Dhabi, we had long discussions about how to improve, because one objective and aim is to restart the race in a safe manner, and I think we could have. The FIA changed a lot in that area, but I think they still need more experience and they need to do a better job, because F1 deserves a better job." And surprisingly enough, Red Bull's team boss, Christian Horner, would also say that the ending was unjust and that it was unfair to the fans who had come to see the race. Christian would also say that he would have rather seen Charles and Max battle it out on race conditions, rather than inherit a win under the safety car. "We don't want to win a race under a safety car," Horner told Sky Sports Formula One. "And that's something we've talked about for many, many years, that they should finish racing. There was enough time to get that race going. I think they picked up the wrong car. They picked up George Russell. Look, we had the faster car. We would have liked to have won the race on track, not behind the safety car. So we share the disappointment of all the fans because it took away a grandstand finish. I just like to see the race play out. I think we would have won it. If there hadn't been a safety car, we had enough pace in hand on the one stop we'd adopted. We'd saved a new set of tires, we had a new set versus Charles' scrubbed set, but it was all set for a grandstand finish we didn't get to see. And I think it goes against the principles of what we've discussed previously, so I think the biggest losers today, unfortunately, were the fans. But we need to look quickly to address that." The FIA would not be deaf to these complaints and would release a statement after the race, where they would say, "While every effort was made to recover car number 3, Ricciardo's, quickly and resume racing, the situation developed and marshals were unable to put the car into neutral and push it into the escape road," the statement read. "As the safety of the recovery operation is our only priority, and the incident was not significant enough to require a red flag, the race ended under the safety car, following the procedures agreed between the FIA and all competitors. The timing of the safety car period within a race has no bearing on this procedure. But nonetheless, the result of the race can't be changed anymore, and this win for Verstappen means that he can wrap up and officially win the title at the next race in Singapore. This means that the 2022 season will end in heartbreak for Ferrari, specifically Charles Leclerc, who most saw as a legitimate title contender this season. But to Charles's credit, the Monegasque driver would not blame the FIA decision to end the race the way they did, but instead take the blame for choosing to pit under the VSC. Overall, I think the pace wasn't bad today. The thing is that we've been pretty unlucky with the virtual safety car ending in the middle of the pit stop. We were happy to make it harder for ourselves on the medium tire with having a longer stint. If we got the benefit of stopping under a virtual safety car, but we didn't get the full benefit of stopping under the VSC, and then we had to make those mediums last as long as possible. And now, in the grand scheme of things, this will be another failure season for Ferrari under Mattia's leadership. A season where the team looked like the clear favorites to win it all, if not for their questionable strategic decisions and untimely reliability issues. It is for these very reasons that many believe that Ferrari's chairman John Elkann could make changes for next season. Charles would be asked about the possibility of this just before the lights went out at Monza, to which he would reply with, "There are always rumors around a Formula One team, and especially with Ferrari. I think what is most important in those moments is not to get distracted with whatever is being said around. We're very united as a team, and I think we need to keep on going like this. We've shown we've been great from last year to this year doing this type of performance. We need to keep working in that direction." Obviously, taking off all of these outside rumors, I didn't hear that one in particular, but obviously we just have to focus on our own job. Former Ferrari drivers Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel would also give their 2 cents regarding these rumors, where both would agree that the allegations are just part of being a part of Ferrari, where expectations are so high, especially when you're about to race in Monza. But much to everyone's surprise, especially to those tifosi who have had to sit through the team's questionable decisions, Elkann would be quick to reaffirm the public that the team still has confidence in Mattia to deliver a championship to the team. "We have great faith in Mattia Binotto and appreciate everything he and all our engineers have done," said Elkann. "But there is no doubt the work in Maranello, in the garage, on the pit wall, and at the wheel needs to improve. We must continue to make progress, and that goes for the mechanics, the engineers, the drivers, and obviously the entire management team, including the team principal. We've seen that there are still too many mistakes when it comes to reliability, driving, and strategy. Putting our trust in Binotto and his team was the right decision, and it has paid off. Thanks to them, we are competitive and winning again. But I'm not satisfied because I think we can always do better. Our first goal was to be competitive. If you are not, then you have nowhere to go, whereas you can always work on reliability," replied the chairman. "That's why I believe that before 2026, Ferrari will once again win the Constructors' and Drivers' titles, with Charles Leclerc in pole position. We are lucky to have 2 great drivers, probably the strongest pairing in Formula One." And there you have it, guys. So, should the FIA change their procedures and not allow a race to end under a safety car? Should Mattia be fired? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't.